Hey, so in week 10, we looked a lot at feminism and like women's culture within public relations. So that's what we mainly discussed in class today. So we had someone present first who was really interesting, like a current affairs presentation. And they talked about how New York City has just changed their laws so birth certificates, parents can choose a gender X rather than male or female. And that was really good. It sparked a lot of discussion in class. And I think the general consensus from everyone, we sort of agreed that we thought that maybe gender, the word, should be taken out of birth certificates altogether. And when they're born, they are clearly one sex or another. So they're either a male sex or a female sex, and get rid of the word gender. And then obviously people can decide whether they would like to pick their gender, because there's obviously not one or two genders. So that was a really interesting discussion. A lot of people had a lot of interesting things to say. We especially talked about like passports, like what that would mean for passports, and like driver's license, and then traveling around the world. So we talked about like, you know, if you do travel to a country maybe like of a different religion that doesn't accept different genders, then what that would mean, and if the whole world wasn't being involved in this gender X, then could it really work? And then we had another discussion about cultural norms, so how we might look down on people who aren't accepting this, but that is their culture, so it's really hard to judge. So that was really interesting. And then my group did their presentation, so we did feminism and masculine culture in the Australian Defence Force. And our case study we looked at was the 2011 Skype incident when a cadet named Kate had consensual sex with another cadet, but he had filmed it on Skype to a few other cadets, and obviously that wasn't consensual. She didn't know she was being filmed, so that was really interesting. We talked about the culture leading up to the incident, and then how they've sort of changed but not changed since it's happened. So that was really interesting. And then we went on to look at, we did like the module for the week, and that sort of ended up us talking about why we think there are still so many men in PR leadership roles, even though it's a female-dominated industry. So that was interesting. And then whether women can sort of have it all as far as working and having children. And a lot of people had a lot of different things to say. Like they think that they can, they think that they can't. So yeah, it was a really interesting and good week.